I now cannot see. Oh, there's the recording thing. I was gonna say I couldn't see it. I can see it. All right. Hello, welcome to Unlimited Appetizers, the show where we simulate killing time while waiting for your food at a restaurant. I am your host, Erin.
And I'm your Totino's Pizza Roll spokesman, Mancha.
Oh, I want those so bad now. I have a bunch of
bought
pizza.
a big bag.
Yeah. I have a bunch of pizza in the fridge right now because the other night me and Tyler were getting pizza and we were debating if we wanted one or two pizzas because we both like very different toppings, and we ended up getting two, and then the guy made his wrong, and so we called him, so now we have three.
At least you had to keep the other one. That's always a win.
Yeah, the guy was like really nice. And I felt bad because he was like, "Oh, somebody called off. I'm the only one here," and we were like, "That's okay." And he gave us another one. It was very nice. But yeah.
I support and agree with the like getting two pizzas. Not because I don't want to compromise, but because I want my own pizza. Is that bad?
That's the other thing. Like, Tyler will eat the whole thing like immediately, and then I won't have any leftovers. But it was like all the toppings I like pineapple, and he's like no, and then he likes a bunch of stuff, and I hate anything that isn't like pineapple or bacon. So yeah.
Yeah, I get it. So I have a story from this past week.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. I don't think I told you this yet. It's funny. So I went to the liquor store after work on Friday because it's like I finished my first full week of like work again because school's back in session. So I'm gonna go buy some liquor, and I go in, and they don't usually have it, but they had it's Crown Royale Peach available.
Okay.
Which is like peach whiskey. But like the Crown Royale, like come in like I don't have it on hand actually. They're in the other room, but they come in like cool little bags, and that's why I like them. I'm like so on whiskey, but also the peach one is good. So I was like, I'm gonna get one. And I put it in my cart, and I'm grabbing my other stuff, and this guy, he sees my cart, and then he like looks around and he's like, shit, is that the last one? And I also look around and I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm sorry. I think it is. So he like keeps looking around, and he's like, damn. And I get in line, and he gets in line behind me. And he looks back at me, and he says, hey, I'll give you $20 for the bottle. And I said, first of all, like I didn't go in there planning to get it. I don't care that much about this bottle. I like peach, but I want the bag.
Also, clearly this man needs it.
He was a nice guy. Right? He just wanted this like hard to get drink because they don't always have it at our place, at our liquor store, because Ohio liquor laws are weird. Anyways, I look at him and I'm like, honestly, I'll do it for $10 if you give me the bag inside. Because again, like the whiskey bottles come in like a little bag.
Okay.
It's like a little cloth bag. It's really cute. I like putting like dice in them and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh hell yeah, of course. And he hands me a 10. I hand him the box, and I'm like, what? Go first, pay for it, and then give me the bag. And then the cashier, who's like been right there the whole time, has witnessed this goes down. As he goes up, looks at us and is like, we got more in the back, right? I just wasn't able to put them all out. I got more in the back.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm like, okay, cool. I will still get one. And the guy gave me the bag anyways. And he would have let me keep the $10 if I were a less feels bad about taking $10 from someone person. Because I guess he thought I was like a good guy for letting him have the whiskey anyways.
Totally.
So that was just funny.
I love that. That's so cute. Well, like, I never ask if they have stuff in the back, because anytime I've asked at any store, they're like, no. And then like sometimes they look and they like pull it up on the computer thing. They're like, there's nothing. So like I would never think to ask for that. That's funny.
Yeah, I never would have asked. Like, I was just gonna like give it to this guy and just get my other stuff because I didn't need it. It's not something I've ever bought before. I just wanted to try it, and I wanted the silly little Crown Royale bag, I guess. So I won, and now I have two. I have two of these peach Crown Royale bags. And you know what
It's a
else I
mega
have?
win for you.
You know what
Yeah,
else I
what else
have?
you
This
got?
is a real mega win week for Mancha.
Okay.
I have these very cool and epic Unlimited Appetizer stickers, finally.
Oh, hell
Um,
yeah.
I have a whole stack of them, like, on my shelf, but they finally came. They're finally in my hands. Erin teased them so long ago in the before 4.
They finally came means I went home to Rochester and my mom was there so I could overcome my going to the post office anxiety because she went with me. I will never mail anything ever if I can help it. I hate it so much. If I get something from Amazon and it's wrong and it's under like $40, I will just be like, all right, I guess I have this thing and it's wrong. Now, like, I will not send it back. But I also had a pair of pants that were $50 that I had to give back. And it was not something that like anybody in my life would have a use for because they were very small and they're very weird. It was for a costume. So I mailed those back, and then I did yours while I was there. But yeah, anyway, tangent.
Yeah. See, that's one of the few ones that I don't have anxiety over. I don't like going out of my way to do it, but like I don't mind going to the UPS store to mail something or whatever, or the post office.
Yeah, I had to do that, and then today I had to call to reschedule a dentist appointment, and I was dreading doing that, and the guy was like so disappointed. He's like, I'm not gonna be able to get in for another month, and I'm like, I'm not there that day. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, that would be harder for me, but that's also making a phone call. I can do most stuff in
Yeah,
person without anxiety, you know.
yeah. I had to change it because I'm gonna be at ColossCon East a day longer than I thought I was going to be, so I will be not in Raleigh.
Uh-huh.
Quick life update. I now have every cookie in Cookie Run. Yay! It's been what, like 2 months?
That's it? Shit.
For like a gotcha game, it is very easy to get all of the things.
That's terrifying, honestly.
I know.
Or like a weird gotcha system, because like I often on play Pokemon Masters. I need to pick it up because they're doing like an event right now, and I can get a bunch of free stuff. But it's really hard to get all of the units in that game, which is a problem because a lot of them you need for very specific missions where you can't win unless you have this unit that is precisely fine-tuned to beat that boss. Curse you, Pokemon Masters.
Yeah.
Also, thank you, because there are 3 costumes for my wife, I think.
Cynthia?
Yeah.
Good. Good choice.
At least
Excellent.
2.
Before we move into it, I wanted to mention that I got this shirt to like dunk on Mancha. No, I got it in like a mushy, I'll wear it on the podcast with you way. It's a Kirby shirt. And then when Mancha saw me, he was like, I want that shirt. I'm mad. I was like, oh.
It's to be clear, I've had that shirt like in my bookmarks from Etsy for like a while now, and I haven't bought it because it's $50, and I make teacher money. I'm not a $50 man, okay? I am a listen. If I just went to Taco Bell 5 times less this month, I could have bought that shirt. But I went to Taco Bell 5 times and then got like 1,000 points on my Taco Bell app by reading all the receipts from the past 2 months.
Oh yeah, you did say that. You make me want to go Taco Bell. Ugh.
Listen, the Taco Bell app, it's like the rewards are like really easy to get, unlike other stuff.
I was gonna say, because Tyler's been getting me into fast food apps, the McDonald's app is like the best app. Wendy's sucks, Burger King sucks. I haven't tried the Taco Bell one, and then like all the other ones either don't get you anything, or there's no like the deal will be like $1 off something that's like $10. But McDonald's will give you like cool stuff on the menu for like $1. Anyway.
Yeah, the Taco Bell one's all right. It's pretty cheap to start getting like a free burrito or whatever. And
Uh-huh.
like the more you buy from Taco Bell, like the better your like free stuff gets. So I have like 4 free things just waiting for me to eat them.
Oh, that's
Um
awesome.
the Burger King one used to be better.
Yeah. And then I think it was the Wendy's one was just like straight up broken when we were trying to use it. It was like really hard to navigate, and we are like, dude, you're like such a big corporation. Why does your app suck?
The B-Dubs app is also like constantly broken, and like the rewards for B-Dubs are worth it cuz like you spend a lot of money there and eventually it'll add up to get something good.
Yeah. Want to do first segment?
No, I want to talk about fast food apps for the
All
rest of
right,
this
this is a new
podcast.
segment. Yeah. I mean, we did wasn't that like day 1?
I mean, no, we talked about like
Oh,
etiquette
dinner
or
etiquette.
like dinner etiquette and
The
anxieties or
the
whatever.
fast food ranking was episode 2, right?
No, we did fast food ranking episode. One of those it was one of those dude, I don't remember
It's
anything.
one of them. Maybe it was
I
one. I
could
don't know.
check the spreadsheet, but I don't feel like it. So this was your segment.
Okay,
You
yeah.
introduce it.
So this one was inspired by like Reddit threads I've seen about this kind of thing. I wanted to do like misinformation you learned when you were a kid that was like not correct, and then later you were like, why did someone tell me that? So I have some that are like personal to me, and then I have some that are just like ones I see all the time that are like common misconceptions.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we have any that overlap. We were talking a little bit about this beforehand, and the consensus we came up with is our parents did not lie to us very often.
Yeah. And the couple things that my parents did lie to me about, I think they only lied like once, and I just remembered it forever, and if I asked them about it, I don't think they would even remember it. Like there was nothing that they were like consistently lying to me about, well, except one thing that I got call out my mom for. Um
Ooh.
but yeah, so okay, like common ones that I had, it's not illegal to drive with the light inside the car on. Everybody thinks that it's like illegal. They can technically, if you're like driving bad, they could pull you over for distracted driving, but it's not like a flat out law.
I was never told it was illegal, but my dad would get really pissed off.
Oh yeah.
Which, as a child who liked to read and at that time was not allowed to bring a video game on car trips, made me very sad.
Yeah, what are you supposed to do? Like,
Suffer, go to
yeah, like
sleep.
as an adult, if I have like a car ride that's longer than like an hour and I can't bring something to entertain myself, like if I'm a passenger, I'm like, I won't do it.
I can entertain myself sufficiently, like with my phone now,
Hmm.
if as long as I have
That's
a way
true.
to charge it. Frankly, I can listen to music for 2 hours and like pretend to nap.
I guess that would be something to entertain myself with, though. Like if I didn't, if my
Yeah,
phone was like dead, then I'd be like,
yeah.
um. Did you have any
Yeah,
that you
I
wanted
have
to say?
I finally came up with some
Sure, let's
when
go.
thinking about it like 2 hours before we decided to film. So this is less a misinformation one that I wanted to bring up first, but it's at the top of my list because this is something that we are taught in school
Uh huh.
that the scientists have changed. Erin, how many oceans are there?
Oh my god, I don't know. Oh my god.
Erin has
It,
failed second grade science
I'm
or social
I'm
studies.
so bad at geography or like at knowing where things are. No idea. There's Atlantic, Pacific. Those are the only important ones. The other ones,
Those are the big
oh,
ones.
you gotta believe me. um, then there's I don't know. I want to say there's like there's 5 or 7.
Okay. So when I was like a little kid, I was told there were 4. Right? You'd have the Atlantic and the Pacific and the Indian Ocean and the Arctic Ocean. And that was
Oh,
like it forever. And then scientists rolled up and then they said, "Hey, you know what? Southern Ocean, baby. Antarctica deserves it." So there's 5 now.
okay.
Similarly, indigo is not a part of the rainbow anymore. Frankly, it didn't deserve it. It was too close to blue and purple.
I always hated indigo. I always hated it. And I'm glad to hear that. I didn't know that until right this moment.
Right? There are better I'm pretty sure that one's true because that was another like one I remember.
If
I did
not,
not
and
fact check that one before that though, because I just remembered that like on right now.
if you're a child watching this, this might be a misinformation for you that we're giving you. It's interactive.
Let's introduce some other misinformation for the kids, right?
Yeah.
Real quick. While you're not looking, zebras can fly, but
Did
only while you're not looking.
Oh, you're making this up. Someone didn't tell you this.
No, this one's for the kids who are listening.
I was very concerned for a second that somebody in your family was telling you this, and I was like, "Oh my goodness."
No, that one's for the kids who are listening.
Oh my
What's your
goodness.
next one?
All right, I'm gonna run through like some general ones before I talk about my weird ones. Blood is not blue and then turns red when it hits oxygen. What is
I
that?
have it. I have
Yeah, you
that
have
one.
that. Yeah, I figured you would hate that. Like,
that one makes me mad. I have
Yeah.
to go over that every year as a science teacher. Just like, guys, your veins are blue, not your blood. It's red inside you. You've got red juice inside you.
Yep. That yeah, that one bothered me. That cursive was gonna be important. That was one I kept seeing on Reddit threads. That everyone uses cursive, and then it's like it's only really for signatures. And anytime I've seen somebody sign something, their signature is not real cursive. It's always just like a scribble.
Yeah, I'm gonna make an argument here.
Okay.
Because, like, I don't know if we teach cursive at our school anymore. I'll have to ask the lower grade teachers. But here's the thing about cursive. Let's look back around, say, how long ago would that have been? Like, 16 to 18 years ago, right?
Uh-huh.
Or so, in, like, 3rd or 4th grade, right? Back then, when computers weren't as prevalent, it probably would have been important. I remember the big one connected to cursive is I remember being told you have to write in cursive when you're writing a check.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Please?
I don't think I've written a check ever in my life. I have a checkbook. I think I've written... No, you know what? I tore off one and wrote void on it to keep it in my thing so I can remember my bank account number. I'd never have written anybody a check.
I write them for rent because
Okay.
it's easier.
Mine's all digital through a portal, so that's what a lot of stuff is now.
Well, I rent from an old lady, so
yeah, I rent
a very nice old lady.
That's
so
nice. That explains why she needs checks. Because you know what? When I worked at Joann Fabrics, the old people would try to pay in checks, and they were allowed to do that, but I would have to like call somebody over because it was very confusing to put it in.
Yeah, we've talked about that, but yeah, like I was told you have to write in cursive on checks. No, I don't.
Yeah, you want it to be like legible. Yeah, and print is like generally better for that. If you have horrible handwriting, either way it's going to look horrible, but like if you have nice handwriting, I feel like your cursive could still be hard to read.
If you have horrible handwriting, I've got try harder, okay? Maybe I'm mad cuz I'm a teacher now, but like I as a child had not great handwriting, and I simply sat down one day and said I'm going to have good handwriting now, and then just changed my handwriting. I just started trying.
This is a call out for Tyler and my brother Ryan. Both have horrible handwriting.
Hey, Tyler and Ryan, learn to write that shit.
It's alright, we both done one. That's how we know it's gonna be a good episode.
Means we're on our A game if we're saying the funny word.
We are, yeah, we are.
Our F game, technically.
Our F game. Cracking your knuckles doesn't give you arthritis. I never crack my knuckles, but I remember hearing people say that.
You know what the sound is, by the way, when you crack your knuckles?
Is it air?
Yep, it's air popping out.
Okay. I can't crack them, but like I always remember whenever people would be like, that gives you arthritis. And apparently, no, it doesn't.
My wrist cracks every time I like rotate it.
Ooh,
I don't know if you can hear it through the
that's
mic.
poppy. Huh. Interesting. Um, did you ever get that tongue diagram that had like different regions of the tongue labeled as tasting different things?
Yeah, that's fake. I don't know why they.
I remember being shown that as a child and being like, "Oh, salt is on the left side." Like, what is that? Why did they make that?
You're yeah, at that point we're just making things up.
Yeah.
On that, I've got a couple. I've got another school one, and that's the
Okay.
food pyramid. I don't remember if we
Yes,
talked about how the
I
food pyramid is BS.
this came up a lot when I was looking at things. Yeah. Yeah.
You don't need that many carbs. Stop eating
Yeah.
bread. Bread makes you fat. Bread makes you fat.
This is yeah, the keto people walking around are living proof of that, right?
Also, okay, this actually gels with one that I have. Milk is not good for you.
Yeah, it's like
Um,
yeah, it's like for babies.
so milk is a scam. So milk is really easy to dehydrate. So they would send it to the troops in World War II,
Okay.
and they paid a bunch of farmers to you know, uh produce farm milk. World War II ends. All these farmers are still producing milk. Instead of paying them to go back to what they were doing, they made the Got Milk campaign. They're like, milk's good for you and it's good for calcium. Not really. First of all, humans shouldn't be able to process lactose, sadly, I say as a cheese lover and enjoyer. And
Yeah.
broccoli and other like vegetables are much better sources of calcium.
I was gonna say I know so many people who are lactose intolerant. Like I think a lot of people are to like some degree. Like I probably am a little bit, but I know so many people that like that is a huge thing that comes up all the time. So yeah, no,
I think
no
I am like 10% like lactose intolerant.
way. um, yeah, I that
Shit,
one
2% would have been funnier.
oh, you're funny. You be funny today. Trying to think there I had food ones too. Eating watermelon seeds will grow one inside of you. I remember somebody that wasn't my parents said that to me. I was very afraid of that happening. Um, and then the gum in your stomach for 7 years thing, I was terrified of that, and I swallowed a lot of gum on accident, and I was very concerned it was gonna like clog up everything.
Right. Yeah, I'm not gonna make a second Scott Pilgrim versus the World reference, but I could here.
Okay.
Um, where he makes a joke about
Okay.
that. Couple that I've got, because I have a couple. The big one for me, the one that I was told, was that if I make like a silly face, like because when you're a kid you go like that it'll freeze.
Yes, my grandpa used to say that all the time.
And that was like perpetuated also by like comics I read because it was in Calvin and Hobbes and stuff. Like, no, that's not how your face works, I don't think.
No, it would have happened by now. We've been making a lot of funny faces.
Yeah. Also that sugar makes you crazy. It doesn't do that. It is either a placebo effect or like I know like some people think it's like other chemicals that is in candy, like the dye. Like my mom thinks it's like red dye and not the sugar. Which I don't know. I'm not a nutritionist, though. I'll ask my sister in 10 years once she is.
I remember being a kid and being like, people would say that, like they'd be like, "Oh, don't eat that candy, you're gonna go crazy," and I'd be like, "I'm not, like I'm fine. I don't feel anything."
I'm excited for candy, but like
I didn't even really feel intense caffeine effects until I was older and started drinking like energy drinks and stuff. Because soda isn't really like that caffeinated. Like, and like now I drink like coffee and energy drink stuff so I can feel it. But like if I get a soda at a restaurant, it does like nothing to me. My mom's very sensitive to it. She'll like freak out, but not me. Okay, I got some ones that are specific to me. At one point in my life, my mom told me that there were cameras in the house watching everything I did because I think I was like misbehaving. And she was like, they watch everything you do, so if you act up, I'm gonna know about it. And I like internalized this for a long time, and I would like make weird faces at where I thought the cameras were and like do weird things when I was alone. And like, I don't think she realized she made me like insane. Like, there were no cameras. I would just like put on a show for cameras that were not there.
Total drama.
I know.
Wow. It's like
no,
being on The Circle.
What?
Except it's like the Netflix dystopian reality show The Circle.
Oh, I don't know what that is, but that makes sense.
First of all, it's dystopian as hell.
Okay.
It's like a social media, like, I cannot describe it besides like awful. It's just like you live in a house, but you live by yourself and you can only communicate with the other people in the house through social media.
Oh, wait, I want to watch that.
It's a train wreck. It's on Netflix.
Okay. There's something I want to tell you about. I saw it. Do you watch Critical?
I have watched Critical, but I do not actively watch Critical.
I was watching one of his videos today, and it was about this like really messed up like Japanese game show in like the 90s where this like comedian guy won like a prize to be on this show. And the show was like he had to live in an apartment alone, and he was like naked, and he could only get stuff from sweepstakes he filled out. So there was like a month where he didn't eat anything at the beginning. They would only give him water and like heating. And he got like rice and he couldn't like cook it. And he gets like a video game near the beginning, and then like 8 months later he gets like the thing to play it on and like the TV and stuff. And he's there, he does it for like 15 months. And it was like really messed up, and they kept like it had such good like ratings and people watching it that like he won. He had to make like the equivalent of like $10,000. He won, and then they brought him to Korea, and they were like, now you have to win the price of a plane ticket. And then he won again, and then they go, well, now you have to win like the next upgraded plane ticket price. And then like finally they let him go, but he didn't know it was being like live streamed. Sorry, this is like a long tangent. Anyway,
no, this is
crazy.
Interesting.
There's like he was like live streamed the whole time, and he thought it was just like pre-recorded and was gonna be like cut up. And then he like when he was like done with it, they like put him out in front of an audience, and he was like naked. It was like really weird. But he was like going crazy the whole time, and he had like a stuffed animal that he talks to, kind of like he's like on like Castaway, like the thing. It was like very like sad, and it like messed him up, and he couldn't like talk to people normally for a while after. But apparently now he's doing really great. And one of the things I saw is when the pandemic lockdown happened, he was like speaking out, being like, here's what helped me when I was like stuck inside for 15 months. And I was like, that's interesting that circled back around. Sorry, that was really long. I don't know if we want to quickly roll off whatever else we got.
I have a couple quick science ones that I have. One, you
it.
can't see the Great Wall of China from space.
Oh yeah. Okay,
Can't do that. Two, you have more than 5 senses.
What's the other ones?
Pain, temperature, balance, and more. Right? Your sense of balance is a thing. Your temperature is not touch. Pain is not touch.
Yeah, okay.
And the last one is the North Pole of the Earth is actually magnetic south.
Huh. All right.
And vice versa.
That's interesting.
Also, bread is bad for ducks.
Yeah, that one makes me so sad. All right, I got a couple just real quick. My family was very concerned about unwashed fruit causing like either cancer or like, you know, like mental stuff, and then they were worried about deodorant causing cancer. Like other people, not like my parents.
Okay, fruit. No, fruit. That's not like misinformation.
No, I was looking it up today, and it
was
was like
cancer necessarily, but like if you don't clean fruit, there's pesticides on it. And
yeah, there's like
bad for you.
There's harmful stuff.
Cancer, but
right.
Like,
it was like it could make you a little sick. Yeah,
it's like half and half.
So that was one, and then this is the one I had to call up my mom for. I was a vegetarian when I was a very young child, and I ate bologna and I didn't know it was meat. And there was a long period of time where she just would tell me it wasn't meat because I ate so few things that she was like, it's one of the only things she ate. And I remember one time my brother was fighting with her, and he was like, that's not, or he's like, that's meat. You're eating meat. And then I was like, is it really? And she was like, don't tell her that. And I never ate it after that.
Wow.
Oh, and then one of my dear family members who is no longer with us thought that global warming was caused by people not wearing hats in the winter and the heat leaving your head and going into the atmosphere.
That's
So,
double wrong, because your heat doesn't leave your head.
that is a thing I was told when I was a child, and I remember hearing it and being like, I don't think that's right.
That's wrong for 2 reasons. At the very least, your family member believed in global warming.
Yeah,
That's at least something. Could be worse.
There's like a shred of hope there, but yeah, that was what she thought.
The spirit is there.
Yes. All right.
Okay. So we're bringing back another game from another episode that we really enjoyed for this next segment. And we're going to be doing the 1 minute topics again. So I've prepared a handful to make Erin talk about, and I imagine Erin has prepared a couple for me. And we will do
just me just kidding.
I say imagine more so out of I know you would do it, but I didn't technically ask you if you prepared to them.
That's okay. I did. Just like briefly.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to talk first, or do you want me to talk first?
I can do either way. Also, I'm timing myself. I assume you're timing yourself. It's just easier for me to tell how much longer I have. Okay.
That's how we did it last time.
Either way. Well, you can give me one first if you want.
Okay. Erin, give me a number between 1 through 5.
4.
I want you to teach me about the weather.
Oh no. I don't know a lot about how it works, but okay, hold on. Okay, so I know that even like people that predict the weather still get it wrong like all the time. Rain is like water. Oh man, this is already really bad. This is gonna make me really dumb. Water like evaporates or something, and then there's clouds, and then temperature changes make rain happen. No, wind makes it happen. The other natural causes make it happen. When the clouds get too heavy, it happens. And then snow and like ice storm things is when it's too cold and the rain gets cold. The sun is a thing. I am out of time and I feel like I need to go back to like first grade.
Hey, if you want to zoom into one of my science classes this upcoming week, we're doing weather real soon.
How does rain actually work, Mancha?
I actually don't remember. I think it's just when
you don't even know.
I'm pretty sure it's just when clouds get too full or whatever. But that one I'm second guessing myself now because I don't remember that one.
When do clouds fall?
It's called precipitation, and there's 4 kinds of it.
When they get too heavy.
Okay, I was right.
I was right on my third guess.
Yes,
so
I was right in my head the whole time.
Okay.
I'm a real science teacher who went to science school to teach. I did not do that. I went to art school.
Oh, man.
Give me a topic.
This is rough already. All right. I was going to start with like nice, easy things to talk about, but now I feel like I should give you like another one.
You randomly picked that one off my list.
All right, so you gave me one kind of tangentially related to your job, so I'm going to ask you in 1 minute to explain to me how you make a video game.
How you make a video game? You come up with an idea for the video game, and then you have to figure out what the game mechanics for the video game are. Like if you want to have a platformer or an RPG, or if you want to mix genres, or if you want a shooter, or if you want to be a horror game or whatever. And you probably want to plot that out, I imagine, like with note documents or paper or whatever, do like concept drawings or whatever, flowcharts and shit, to figure out generally how to play your game. Depending on what kind of game it is, like if it's a board game, you would start like making like test models, but like for a video game, I imagine you'd start playing around with coding. That's the part I don't know anything about. It's like, I
That's
don't
the
know how
part
to
I'm
code.
trying to ask you about, but
Oh yeah, I mean, you asked me how to make a game, not how to code, Aaron. So that's
you told
you
me how to
type
make
you
the idea of a game.
right. No, you told me how to make a. You asked me how to make a game. You type letters in a box, and then the game works. That's how you code. And if it doesn't work, you go back and you delete the letters and you type in new ones. I'm out of time.
All right. All right. This
Listen,
is
you asked me how to make a game, not how to code a game.
it's not much of a game if you can't play it.
Listen, I mean, I was gonna like just breeze over coding really quickly, but then you're like,
Well, you're like a DM and stuff, so like I know that you know how to do like, you know, that kind of stuff, but
and I've made a card game, and I want to make another card game.
there you go. All right. Maybe next time we do this, I'll find a more specific thing to ask you about.
Just ask me how to code. I don't know how to do that. Okay.
No.
1 through 4, Aaron.
Your description technically wasn't wrong, I will say. 1.
Okay. Pick 2 through 4 because I don't want to give you 2 science ones in a row.
2.
Talk to me about League of Legends.
Oh man. Okay, I actually used to play League. And I had Ash, who was like the starter character, and I had the Heartseeker Ash skin. I'm talking about
Ooh,
already. I
good.
didn't start my timer. Yeah, I tried to cosplay. It was really bad. All right, hold on. I'm gonna actually start my timer. So there's like 3 lanes, and there's like the bot lane, the mid lane, and the I don't know if it's top. I don't remember if that's what it's called, but there's different like role types that the characters are better for. So like the tank people go like up top, I think usually, or at least when I played, and then there's like I don't remember who goes in the middle. I know there's like the ADC was like bottom a lot of times, but went like other places. And then there's like little monster things in the jungle, and sometimes people in the chat be like, "Go in the jungle. I'm doing the thing in the jungle," and they'll go like do that because it gives them stuff. And then as you keep playing, you can get little like upgrades and stuff. And then the enemy team has like a base thing at the end. And you're trying to take out their like turret things and like work your way up to their like main base and attack it. There's like 5 people on each team, and then they yell at you a lot if you're me because you're not very good at it. And then they'll be like, "Ash sucks," and I'm like, "I know."
Pretty good. I think that was like all correct, except Ash doesn't suck. I'm not good at ADC, but she is my ADC of choice.
I think like they probably weren't commenting on the character right. They were probably just like the person playing Ash sucks.
Yeah. Is it bad that I still play League? I don't play ranked. I'm not that bad. Let me be clear. Like I shower and stuff.
I can't talk because I still watch like Among Us streams all the time, so I can't like dunk on what anybody else likes.
That's fair. I was too mean there. I'm sorry if you like League of Legends. Now I feel bad.
No, I think
Give me a
people
topic.
who like League know.
I have to move on from this embarrassing moment in my tenure.
Okay, so I'll give you another like knowledgey one, but the rest of mine are kind of more like creative. Well, maybe you can be creative with this. I would like you to spend a minute telling me some fun facts you know about Ohio that I might not know. That is where you live.
I live in Ohio. In Ohio, there is a large sign in the middle of the highway that says in big block letters on its big black sign with white text, "Hell is real!" and you can drive past that sign in Ohio. That is an Ohio fact. There's also a place in Ohio named Grandpa's Cheese Barn. That is one of the things you will drive past when you drive through Ohio. Um, there were the most U.S. presidents were born in Ohio. Um, Ohio
Huh.
is named after the Ohio River. I think that I don't remember 4th grade social studies. I'm pretty sure that it's named after Native Americans, but I could be very wrong there. So I'm going to stop talking about Ohio history. Our capital city is Columbus. That's named after a guy most of us don't really like very much. Cedar Point's here, and that's a very cool place to go. I don't like this state very much.
It's a fun fact. Funny that you mentioned Columbus. One of my ones I didn't read from the previous segment was like, Columbus actually kind of sucks. That was one I had written down as a misinformation.
My favorite fact about Christopher Columbus is that he died thinking he found India. He didn't realize what he had done.
He's
which
a real
is give
stinker.
smallpox to a bunch of Native Americans.
We should take his Columbus Day and give it to Halloween as being a
Halloween Day 2.
Yes.
Halloween 2. Okay.
That cheese barn sounds awesome.
Talk to me about Colossal Con East.
Oh man. Okay.
I had some easy ones.
Okay. So there was Colossal Con in Ohio, Sandusky, Ohio, and it's really big, and it's really hard to get rooms there, and everybody would have to wait in this really, really long line to get a room. So they're like, what if we made other Colossal Con events? And so Colossal Con East is in the Poconos. And it's like, it's kind of weird because you drive this windy road to this area that it almost feels like you're going to like a murder mansion in like a movie. And the service is like kind of bad around it. It's very like secluded off where you are, but it's a Kalahari resort, and it's they got like water park stuff and interesting decorations. And then I am going there. It's next weekend after not this following weekend after this one.
It's the weekend that this releases.
Yeah, it's a big like water park con. People go and like swim cosplays and stuff, and there's a lot of people taking photos in the water. And then last final fact about ClosetCon, one year somebody took a dump in the pool.
That's like normal Kalahari though.
Yeah.
That's not special.
A year I was
Colossal
there.
Con.
Yeah.
Was it you?
It was not. I wish it was. But I wasn't.
Guys, newsflash alert. Erin just admitted that she would shit in a Kalahari pool.
And this is about to premiere before, so they're gonna know.
They're gonna get you. They're gonna watch our podcast and they're gonna know.
See, I wouldn't.
That's the Kalahari shitter. Look at our hat.
See, I wouldn't do it because I don't want to be like an imitator. I would want to be like the trendsetter doing it first. I don't want to like copy someone else's awesome stunt.
You gotta one-up them. How can you beat shit?
I don't even know what to say to that.
No, yeah.
All right, I'll give you a fun one. Can you tell me about a character you really hate and why?
Ooh, okay. I have to think about that. I don't know what character I super hate.
I gave you a favorite character last time we did this. So I want to see if there's a flip side.
I'm gonna pick a weird answer because I don't want to spend a lot of time thinking about this. So I'm gonna tell you about a Pokemon I don't like. Okay. Because there are a couple Pokemon I really just don't like at all. And that Pokemon is Medicham. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's from Generation 3. Okay. It's a fighting and psychic type. And the idea is cool. I don't mind its pre-evolution. But I just don't like Medicham. It's just really, really ugly. It's not a fun Pokemon to look at. And I like its evolution even. Its evolution's kind of cool. But I've just never enjoyed Medicham as a Pokemon. It's got a cool typing. everything about it is cool. I just don't like how it looks, and I don't like its design. And I don't think I'm ever going to use one ever in Pokemon unless they literally force me to. I just cannot get over it. It's the color palette. The colors are so gross.
It's got them huge legs.
Ball legs. Dude looks like balls.
It is pretty ugly.
That's it.
All right, that's pretty good.
I mean, I know I hate like fictional characters. I just can't think of one like quickly.
Yeah,
Put me on the spot.
gotta really like dissect it. Think about it. All right. So I just gave you. We both done 3.
Yeah.
Do we
Let's
each
do
do
one
like
more.
2? Okay, one more. Okay.
Let's do one more because we've been running long, and I want to get to your segment.
Yes, and mine might take long because I was over ambitious with how many things I put in it.
Okay. So I want you to explain to me, Erin, how the digestive system of the body works.
All right. Get ready. This is gonna be just as embarrassing as the weather. All right.
It's
So
easier.
the one thing I know, the small intestine is much longer than the large intestine. I remember that being drilled into my head that is a lie. So you eat something and the digestion begins in your mouth with the saliva and the teeth. They always be telling you that, and then you swallow it and then it goes down your throat, and then this is the part where it gets a little complicated because I know that at some point it's in your stomach, at some point it's in your intestines. I don't know what order those happen in. And the stomach is full of like acids and stuff that like break it up, and then I don't really know what the intestines do. I guess they like send it on a fun like tube ride, like a water park. And then eventually what's before the rectum? I don't know. They it becomes poop, and then you squeeze it out.
In a Kalahari pool.
Yeah.
It's stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum.
Okay.
Your small intestine is how it gets into your bloodstream.
Huh. That's interesting. Okay.
With the villi, I could talk about this for a while because I'm a science teacher and I think it's interesting.
Are those like the hairy things?
The little hairy
Wiggly?
wieners.
Excellent.
The little tubies.
Little tubies. All right. I will give you one. What do I want to give you? Tell me all of the best things about Halloween and the Halloween season.
Halloween is during the best time of the year where it's pretty comfortable weather where you can wear something light or wear something heavy, so that's already a plus for it. It is a candy-based holiday, which is also fantastic because candy is good. But the best part of Halloween, aside from the color scheme, because orange and black, really good combo, is the spooky vibe. I really like the spooky vibe because it's silly, it's not realistic, it's not like as based on like, you know, it's more fictional instead of just being like snow and trees or like eggs and rabbits or whatever, or like turkeys. It's like, yeah, here's pumpkins and ghosts and skeletons. That's awesome, right? Do what's fun dressing up in a costume, right? Even if you don't go trick-or-treating, it's fun, right? You can dress up in a costume as an adult and have fun handing candy out because you're in a costume and kids are like, whoa, that's a costume. And you're like, yup, I paid money for this with my big boy salary. Look at you. I don't know what the hell you're supposed to be. They're all Elsa. All the kids are Elsa. It's fun. I love Halloween. I do it every day if I could. Good holiday. Very good.
That's why we're cosplayers. So we wanted more Halloween.
Cosplayers.
Well, yeah. In spirit.
Halloween.
Right. Oh, you're right. You're right. I need to make a trip to Spirit Halloween. They're doing their thing now.
Yeah, are they open yet?
I think so. I've seen a lot of videos. There's like a big thing on like Instagram and TikTok where people just film like I'm in the store and here's all the Halloween products in the store, and then it gets like millions of views. And I'm like, I can walk up and film the rack, but like you guys already did it and I don't want to look dumb.
Okay.
Anyway,
Sorry. Just film the rack made me laugh.
this is like the raunchiest episode, I think. There's been a lot of
It's not that
Fun.
raunchy.
Well, that's because we keep it pretty family friendly over here.
For the kids. By the way, kids, remember zebras can fly, but only when you're not looking. That's
Yup.
a science fact for kids.
Do they have like wings, or do they just like
No,
levitate?
they just.
Oh hell yeah! If you look away from them for too long, they like float up into the atmosphere, and you can't get them back.
They pay people to look at zebras so they don't fly away. That's how they keep them in zoos. There's a guy watching them constantly. It's like SCP-173.
There's like a guy with like a bush on his head, and he's got like little binoculars, and he's just like in the exhibit, but he's hidden from you, so it doesn't ruin the experience. All right.
Okay.
So I had the secret segment this week, and I thought it would be fun to have Mancha sort voice roles for popular voice actors. So I made this tier list maker. It's not really going to be used like a tier list, but this was the easiest way I could think of to do it. So I've picked 7 voice actors that are all like pretty popular in a lot of things. And then I've put an image of them and then a bunch of their roles, and you will just put the person in a row and then start putting the characters that you think it is. Some of them had more than others, so there are 5 of them have 12 characters, 1 has 9, and 1 has 6, just because there weren't enough things for those for it to be easily guessable.
Yeah. Now looking at this, I definitely know a handful of these, but the big thing that I'm gonna need help with from you is, assuming it's not against the rules, is I'm gonna drag all of the voice actors into a row, and can
Yeah,
you tell me their names
I
so I
want.
can put them with the picture?
I didn't. I wanted to see if you could get them without like telling the name.
That's like a lot harder.
The guy.
I straight up couldn't do that, but I know certain voices go with certain names.
So those 4 guys are all like the same guy, right? Like they're all wearing like glasses, and I'm like, what's going on? Well, I just wanted to know. Oh, so how about this? Just tell me if you think you have any clue who any of them are, and then I'll fill in the rest.
I imagine one of them is Tara Strong.
Correct.
I imagine one of them. I don't know if I know one of them is. I think it's Stephen Horvitz. Or Richard Stephen Horvitz. I don't remember. Exactly.
Yeah.
Those 2 I'm sure. One is D. Bradley Baker, for sure.
Yes.
One is probably Tom. Yeah, one is Tom Kenny for sure.
Yes.
So that's 4. One is one Grey Griffin?
Yes. Grey Griffin or Grey Delisle. She's she's written as both a lot of times.
I don't know which Looney Tunes actor you have, and so I'm not going to answer that one because I believe that one.
So the Looney Tunes ones specifically are just Space Jam 1. The people that voice it.
Yeah, that's difficult.
Yeah. Just because I picked, some of them had overlapping characters, so I tried to pick series from it.
And Nancy Cartwright?
Yes, that was a name I didn't know that before. Like I knew who she was, but and then there's one
6.
There's one 6 more. The image of the quiz. You know who that is? Oh, never mind. Who's Fry?
I can't see that. Oh yeah, that's Billy West.
Yep. All right, so you got all the names. Let me try to tell you who the pictures are. The blonde one's Tara Strong, or the top one's Tara Strong. Then it's Grey Delisle. Then it's Nancy Cartwright. They're really Yeah, they're really small, so I'm having trouble seeing them on your screen. All right. Tom Kenny's the yellow one, I think.
Okay, so it was Nancy Cartwright was the third
Yeah,
lady.
Nancy Cartwright.
Is Gray EY or AY?
EY.
I got it right. Yeah, that one was the only one I was sure of is Tom Kenny. That's
So,
Tom Kenny looking man. I imagine. Okay, if I had to guess, 7 is Horvitz,
yeah.
and I don't know which one D. Bradley Baker is.
He is the next one below Tom.
Okay, and then who did I not get? Or
that's Billy West.
oh, it was Billy West. Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Thank you for throwing me that bone.
Oh, you're fine. I just wanted to see if you had any clue what they looked like at all, but I'm fine. Yeah, getting that out of the way at the beginning. All right.
Ready?
Yes,
Okay.
so I'm watching you on that screen. Yeah. Oh, and also some of them they voice multiple characters in the same show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to start with who I know.
Okay.
Off the top of my head, I know Gray Griffin voices Azula, and I know Nancy voices Bart. That's how I know her name. I know a handful. I know a lot of Stephen Horvitz's characters. I know it's Billy. I imagine it is also. I assume that's Billy's dad. I have not seen a lot of that show.
That's Billy's dad. Yes.
I know that he is Rasputin because I love Rasputin. I know he is Zim in the show. I know that Tom Kenny is both SpongeBob and Spyro because I've been playing through Spyro. I know D. Bradley Baker does a lot of animals, so I know that he is Waddles. I imagine he is the naked mole rat whose name I don't remember, and Appa. It would make sense for him to be Wrecking Ball. And I know he's Perry the Platypus. Okay. I know that Billy West is Fry. And I know that he is the red M&M. I know Tara Strong is Twilight. I know that Tara Strong is Terrence, which is the strangest one. That
you
always
knew
messes
Terrence.
me up.
Okay.
That
I didn't know if you
up.
watched Foster's because there were like a bunch of people
I've
from
seen
it.
all of Foster's.
Okay, cool, yeah.
I don't know all the voice actors from it, but I have seen it.
Yeah.
I know Gray is Daphne because that's the one. That's like the voice I associate her with. Okay, I think that's most of the ones I know off the top of my head. Oh yeah, Steven's Moxie. I imagine Billy West is also Zoidberg. I know Tara Strong is Raven. I know that she is Tammy Turner. I know D. Bradley Baker is Klaus. Looking through these, I imagine Billy West is this character from Disenchantment whose name I don't remember because that's a graining show.
Yeah, the
Tara
characters...
Strong is Bubbles.
Yeah.
Is it bad if I just drag the SpongeBob characters into the Tom Kenny one? Because I don't know their voices well. See, I don't know their voices well. I know that is Bubble Bass and that's Squilliam, but that's all I could tell you about them.
You're mostly right. I think you've got 3 in the wrong spot, but most of them are right.
I'm confident about everything except Billy's dad and these 2 boys, and maybe Wrecking Ball.
I don't want to psych you out. You're doing mostly fine. I'd say just keep going, and then if you want hints at the end.
I have started with all the ones I know.
Oh, okay.
So can I add a column for shows I've never watched?
No, you have to guess. Because part of it is the numbers and stuff.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I guess that is part of it.
And if you want to know what the show is or the character name, I can tell you.
Well, I know most of them, but like
Yeah,
show like I know like the Shaolin Showdown characters. I think that there are no characters on here. Oh, there's a couple I don't know, but we'll get there later. Oh, Ziggs is on here from League. Who is I see? I don't know his voice lines, so because I don't play him.
he was one of the only ones I played when I played.
He is annoying to play against, and I have tried him out like once.
Okay.
I'm just gonna put him next to Tom Kenny and hope for the best. Because I don't know. Actually, no. I'm gonna put him with Stephen.
All right.
Okay. I'm gonna guess that Tara Strong's also Frankie Foster. That would make sense. I actually think Mandy is too, because Mandy sounds a lot like Raven. See, okay, the big thing about this is I don't know D. Bradley Baker's work except for Klaus that isn't animals.
When I was Googling him, he had like the most voice roles for like any voice actor ever. I
Because
did
they
pick
have
ones.
him do animals.
Yeah, I did pick him for stuff that's not animals. There's like
So I know it exists, but that's not what I'm familiar with.
yeah.
I'm gonna assume Nancy Cartwright also does Maggie Simpson, but Nancy Cartwright's gonna be the one that messes me up here. Cause I don't know which one. I'm just gonna throw some guesses around.
So keep in mind they don't all have the same amount. There's like two that have a little bit less.
I'm aware that it's 12, 9, and 6.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna throw some around just to guess. Okay. I'm gonna guess this is either Gray or Tara Strong. I don't
It's hard
know what she sounds like.
Because Gray and Tara Strong voice like every woman ever, and then like some boys.
She needs more in her thing. So does she. I'm gonna pretend I don't want to put all of the same show characters in the same categories. Ben 10 I think is Tara Strong. I have no clue. So Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck are voiced by one of these guys in Space Jam.
So there's a Bugs, a Daffy, and an Elmer, and they're all from Space Jam. And they're not all the same person.
That's messing me up. So I'm just gonna guess. I'm just gonna throw Elmer in D. Bradley Baker. I'm gonna throw Elmer with Billy. I'm gonna throw some around, and we'll adjust on the fly. Okay.
Okay, sure.
I have no clue what Wubsy sounds like. Probably Nancy Cartwright. What other characters do I know what they sound like? I vaguely know what Ice King sounds like. I think that's D. Bradley Baker. It's either him or Stephen Horvitz. I feel. Do you
watch Adventure Time?
I have seen it.
Okay.
I could recognize his voice, but like I don't know it enough to where I can hear it in my head, like I can for like some of the other characters. Like I could tell you that like what SpongeBob sounds like, and also everyone knows it's Tom Kenny. But like,
okay. If there's
that one is Tom Kenny.
I'm gonna tell you the whole time. You're like, I know what SpongeBob sounds, and I'm like, yeah, they sound the same.
I mean, I don't know that they sound the same.
They sound very similar.
Wait, I remember that's casting.
Yeah,
I think that Chucky's also Tara Strong. I'm just throwing everything there. I have no clue what the frick this bee sounds like. Here you go, Nancy Cartwright. You're having all the characters I don't know. Who is this this blue man?
So that is he's from Johnny Bravo. His name's Carl, I think.
Okay, that does not help me in terms of I have not seen a lot of Johnny Bravo.
I think he's like an annoying neighbor.
We're gonna put him there. How's that? I know what Eduardo sounds like. I don't know who does his voice. Here you go, D. Bradley Baker. Riku. Probably Gray is my guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm not out for Tara Strong yet. I'm trying to figure out who feels like the most likely to voice a video game character, and it feels like Gray. But I also don't know what Lollipop Chainsaw sounds like.
I cosplayed it. She's
I know what it is. I want to play it, actually.
She's got like bimbo voice. What? Yeah, they're doing like a re-released version or something.
Woody Woodpecker has Tom Kenny vibes. So here's my guess. I'm gonna guess that Steven is the 6. Only because I don't know most of these other voices, so I can't pin them down, and someone has to have 6, and I'm confident about 4 of them.
Do you want me to tell you if that's true or not?
No.
Okay.
That makes me feel like it's not true, Erin.
Do you want me to tell you if that's true or not?
I imagine it's not true now. But again, I don't know most of their voices, so I gotta deal with this. Tom Kenny. Billy West. Tara Strong. Nancy Cartwright. You can have the children. You can also have Emily Elizabeth from Clifford. Who is this?
That is Cupid from Fairly Odd Parents.
Got it. It's Billy West vibes. I don't remember her name, but I vaguely remember that she has a voice that is not, I don't think, Tara Strong.
It's Truffles from Chowder. And she's very like, wah!
Yeah, that I remember. I don't know what number this is, and I don't know what he sounds like.
Number 4.
I think we're at the point, Erin, where I don't know what any of these sound like, so I'm just gonna rapid fire drag and drop into vibes and vibes only.
Okay, cool. Yeah, put them in, and then I don't know. I can maybe at the end ask you some questions, see if it changes anything. But
Nancy Cartwright gets all the babies. Who is that?
Who are you pointing at? Sorry, I had something over it. Oh, that is Val Hallen from Dexter's Lab. Yeah. And like there's like another show with that, yeah.
You can have the monkey. Who's this?
That is Mandy's dad from Billy and Mandy.
Gotcha. Well, now no one has 6. Erin was heavily implying that he has more than 6.
I'm gonna let you fill them out, and then I'm gonna let you have a clue.
Who do I gotta cut down? Have some children. Go for it. Boo 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 boo. Boo 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 Puffy Yami Yumi. That lady.
She's from it's Star's mom from Star vs. the Force of Evil.
Toilet Boy. I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
No, it's funny. I didn't realize. Yeah, well, I knew it was gonna be hard, so I guess I did know. So just some last final hints. You kept saying that you didn't know roles that Nancy Cartwright had. That's why she's the 6.
That would make sense.
And Richard is the 9, I believe. So you were like half right.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So Tara's 13 and Tom is 14. So I need to cut down on them and increase them in some other roles. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll take one out. I'll take him out. Billy West, you can have him. And him and him. That's too many now. You can have him. Gray can have and Nancy Cartwright can have Chucky, and I understand that that's causing problems, but I don't know what's happening anymore. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So she needs to get rid of 3. And I need more for others. But no more for Tara Strong. I need 1 more for D. Bradley Baker. You can have this child. And then Gray, you can have that and this B. And there we go. Am I confident in any of these? Absolutely not, except for the ones that I started out with.
Okay. Do you want any hints at all, or do you want to just know?
If you want to give me another hint, go for it.
Sure. So the bee is voiced by a man.
I figured that could have been the case. Hold on.
I could get more specific on some things, but I don't know how specific.
Sure, we're gonna go with that. I'm just gonna swap those two.
Okay. It's hard because if I try to give hints about the people, it's like very obvious who I'm like telling you. So all right, let me take a wait. Go down, show me the bottom. What you have on the bottom. I think Richard Stephen Horvitz, I think you have like that one mostly right, except for
I imagine these two because I don't know what they sound like at all. So that is literally
the
just a random
Toilinator's
guess.
in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
The
rest I'm pretty the rest. Yeah. I mean, I know 4.
And the dads from Billy and Mandy are not the same person.
Let me swap one then. Here, I'm gonna do a weird one. I don't know. I don't necessarily. I'm just randomly making swaps at this point. I'm going for weird guesses.
No. So just because I was very confused by this, the mole rat is a woman.
Oh, that does sound familiar now. I was bamboozled by the Animal Man.
Yeah, you were like putting them all there, and I was like, most of those are right, but
that is a lady. You're absolutely right. I think that's Nancy Cartwright. Then I've absolutely no clue at this point.
Might be safe to put it there.
Fine, D. Bradley Baker. You can have Maggie.
Wait, don't second guess yourself on the swapping. All right,
that one was a joke.
Oh, okay. You're funny. I might yeah, I don't know if I'm doing more harm than good on some of these.
Fine, you can have number 21.
Trying to see if there's any other that are like.
Honestly, I think now let's
go for it.
Give me my fate, okay?
Alrighty. So, why don't you, when we go through each of them, like read out who you put there?
Okay.
Okay, so for Tara, like, do you put like Twilight? Like, just tell me who you put there.
Tara, I have Twilight Sparkle. I have Terrence from Foster's, Raven, Timmy Turner, Bubbles, Jackie from Foster's,
Frankie.
I was close.
Frankie Foster.
Mandy, Ben 10, the girl from Danny Phantom,
Sam Manson,
some kids from Fairly Odd Parents.
They're Elmer and Sanjay, I think, are their names.
Either Puffy or the other one, Ami Yumi. I don't know know what their names are.
It's Yumi. Ami's the pink one.
Okay, and Emily Elizabeth.
All right. Do you want to just like you read the one and then I tell you? I know you're gonna like move them around and stuff, but just say like where. If I, how do you want to do that?
I'll
If I
read them
tell,
all off. I'll read them all off, and then you can. We'll move them around.
okay,
For
sure,
Gray,
yeah, just read them out when you're moving them. Okay,
yeah.
so Tara Strong is Raven, Timmy Turner, Dill Pickles, which is the baby you have in gray,
Okay.
Bubbles, Ben Tennyson. So you had that one right.
Yep.
Truffles, the mushroom lady from Chowder. Terrence. She is Juliet Starling from Lollipop Chainsaw. When I played that game, it was distracting to me how much Juliet just had Twilight Sparkle's voice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Riku as well is Tara Strong. Omi from Shaolin Showdown, the one that's in Tom.
That one.
Yep. And then Ember McLean.
You read 10 off. No, you read. No, you. Okay,
I read 12 off.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I got 7 out of 12 of hers.
Okay, cool. All right, and then read off who you have in Grey Delisle right now.
Left in Grey Delisle are Daphne, Azula, Vicky, Star's mom, some kid, the girl from Zalin Showdown, some kid.
Okay. Daphne, yeah, okay. Wait, let me just read what she's got. So Grey has Emily Elizabeth from Clifford. Okay. She's also Vicky.
Got that one.
She's also Mandy from Billy and Mandy.
Oh, she's Mandy. Okay,
yeah, she's Mandy. That's like the one thing I knew her from. Like when I was a kid. Daphne as well.
I know Daphne.
Yeah, she's Kimiko from Shaolin Showdown, so that one's right. She's Sam Manson from Danny Phantom.
Where is she?
She's in Terror right now. She's also Frankie Foster. She is Yumi from Hi Hi Puffy Ami Yumi. She's Azula. And she is Wow Wow Wubsy.
She is Wow Wow Wubsy.
Yeah, and she's also Frida from El Tigre, who's that blue-haired one.
That blue girl.
That you have there. And then she is Queen Moon Butterfly. And then the guy goes somewhere else. All right, okay. So
I think that was 4 missing, 4 wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. I would say
I'm trying to count. It was
count the right ones.
So sorry, I got 1, and then 2, and then 3, 4. Sorry, that was 6 wrong.
Okay.
So I got 6 out of 12 of hers. Correct.
Cool. And then so Nancy Cartwright, all of those are right. There's just an extra one. So she is.
So I have Bart, Maggie, Chucky, the girl from Tiny Toons.
That is
Elvira?
Mindy from the Animaniacs.
Oh. Okay.
I was trying to find roles for her. There weren't a lot that were like things that we would know. And she's Rufus from Kim Possible. And she is also Todd Daring from The Replacements, which is the one you have on the end of Grey right now.
That makes sense. Okay.
Cool.
So 5 out of 12 for her. No, 5 out of 6, sorry.
Yeah, so that's the ladies.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I think she wrote some kind of memoir that was like my life as a 10-year-old boy or something, because she voiced Bart and like a bunch of, I think that was her. One of those 3 people wrote that. Okay. And then read me off who you got in Tom Kenny.
SpongeBob, Spyro, Bubble Bass, Squilliam. I have Daffy and Bugs, because I have no clue who could be them. Ice King, Woody Woodpecker, Pilot Zim, the monkey from, I assume that's the one, my gym partner is a monkey.
Yeah. His name's Jake Spider Monkey.
The mayor of Townsville.
All right. So he is SpongeBob. He's also Heifer from Rocco, which I don't know where you have him. He's like a yellow circular guy. Yeah, there he is. He is Ice King. He is the mayor in Powerpuff Girls. And he's the one who is Carl from Johnny Bravo. So that blue shirt guy. Yeah. And he is Spyro. He's also Val Hallen from Dexter's Lab, who's under D right
Is
now.
there?
Yeah. He's Cupid from Fairly Odd Parents. Do you need me to go slower?
No, you're good.
Okay. He is Raimundo from Shaolin Showdown, who is the brown-haired guy from Shaolin. He's under
Where did I put
Billy.
him?
Yeah. And he is Jake Spider Monkey from My Gym Partner's a Monkey, and he is Eduardo from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
I did have him up there, didn't I?
I think you moved him, and I was like, oh, I should stop giving hints that are not really specific.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That was another 6 out of 12.
Okay, cool. So, moving on, read me out what you got for D. Bradley Baker.
Left in his column are Waddles, number 4, Appa, Hammond, Perry the Platypus, Klaus. I assume that's both Ren and Stimpy, Dog from Cat Dog, the Bee, and Mandy's dad.
Okay, so he is Squilliam Fancy Son and Bubble Bass from SpongeBob, so he's those two. He is Elmer and Sanjay from the Fairly Odd Parents. Those are the two guys holding the sign. Yeah. And he's number 4 from Codename Kids Next Door. Yeah, you have that. He is the Toilinator. That's both Appa and Momo. He is both of them.
Oh, I didn't even see Momo.
Yeah, it was cut off kind of weird because
I do know. I knew for sure he's Momo actually. So if that would have like made me more confident.
He is also Klaus from American Dad, and he's Perry the Platypus, and he is Waddles, and he's also Daffy from Space Jam.
Where did I put him? There he is.
Yeah. And then he is Mandy's dad, so that's right. And then he's Hammond from Overwatch, the hamster.
Cool. I got 7 out of 12.
Pretty good. All right. All right, read me out Billy West.
Left in Billy West are Fry, the Red M&M, Zoidberg, the wizard whose name I don't remember from
his name's
Disenchantment.
Sorcerio,
yes. Elmer, Doug Funny, one of the Ben 10 aliens, and some squirrel.
The alien thing is well, I'll get to it when I don't. Yeah, okay. So Billy West, he is Doug. He is also he's Roger from Doug. I don't know if he's even like on here.
Oh, is that Roger?
Oh yeah, Roger. Yeah, that's Roger. So he's Doug and Roger. He is both Ren and Stimpy. He is Fry. That's correct. He's also Zoidberg. He is the Honey Nut Cheerios bee, and he's the Red M&M. So he did both those commercials. He is Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd in Space Jam.
And where did I put Elmer?
He's right next to it. You have him in the right spot already.
Oh, he was in the right spot. Good for me.
And he is Zim in the pilot of Invader Zim. And he's Woody Woodpecker, which is under Tom Kenny, I think. Yeah.
Yep.
And he is Sorcerio.
Okay. Yeah, I have him there.
That squirrel is in the wrong spot, just so you know.
I imagine he goes there because that's the only spot left.
Okay, yeah.
And I imagine he is too.
Yeah, so I'm just going to read those out for Richard Stephen Horvitz because I think that should be everything that's left. So he has Rasputin, Billy from Billy and Mandy, as well as Billy's dad, whose name is Harold. Mandy's dad's name's Philip. That was in the other one, though. So he's Billy's dad. He is Daggett from the Angry Beavers, who is that beaver.
Okay.
He is Zim in the show. He is Moxie and Hell of a Boss, Hell of a Boss.
Yeah,
he is Gray Matter from Ben 10. That's the name of that alien thing.
Now that I'm putting 2 and 2 together, I know I've heard Gray Matter speak, and I know it's him. And now that I'm like remembering it, I'm like,
He is Rodney J. Squirrel from Squirrel Boy, and he is Ziggs from League of Legends. So, good stuff.
If I did my math right, which I probably did not because I'm doing it on the fly, I think I got like 54 out of 85, right?
That sounds right. Sure.
It doesn't sound far away. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty proud of that overall.
Yeah.
Like I got Stephen Horvitz pretty well. I got Nancy Cartwright pretty well. I knew
Uh-huh.
like half of Tara Strong, and the rest of them were pretty much gray.
It's those two are just it's like one or the other, and it's hard to know sometimes unless it's like a really distinct one.
Yeah. I knew important ones from all of them, and that's what
Yeah.
matters.
Yeah, I would have cut some of the roles out, but what I had done is I started with people who had a lot and I had like 12 for them. And then I was like trying to make them all 12. And then as I was going down, I was realizing like they're not all gonna have 12 that like we know. But I didn't like cut some of the other ones. So there were some like weird characters in there. But yeah. I just thought that was interesting.
Okay. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that.
I was making it and I was like, I wish I could play this.
That was really cool.
Cool.
I'm going to stop that recording. It's just about time for us to wrap up because we are running a bit long.
Yes. Sorry about that.
Everybody, thank you for watching another episode of our silly little podcast where we talk about pooping in the Kalahari. Please make sure to like and comment and subscribe. You know how it is, right? We really appreciate it.
And also make sure to follow the podcast at appetizercast on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook.com. And you can follow us at Erin MacDaddy and Moth Mancha on most platforms.
That being said, be sure to tip your waitresses. Don't feed ducks bread. And we'll see you next time.
And I'm not going to poop in that Kalahari pool, just to be very clear.